I know I've been bullish. I made some calls, and I think that I'm going to be correct. But now the traders that are playing with call options, they're even more aggressive than me. So what's going on right now is there are a lot of traders buying call options at between 60 and $80,000. Okay. And some of these calls are very early. As soon as April, as soon as the halving event. So now traders are predicting, or a lot of traders, okay, are predicting that we will be not only at all-time high, but beyond all-time high as soon as the halving event. And there are some that are betting wild numbers, 70, 75, 80. Some are betting $100,000. Not everything is in April. Some of these calls are a little bit later, but still, you have vast majority of traders buying call options for near or a little bit past the halving event. That's how bullish people have become, right? And you know what? They may be right, because that's what I said too. I said I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all if Bitcoin is around 70,000 by July. I've said that before. And I said I would not be surprised if Bitcoin is around 60,000 before the halving event, right? So we're not too far off. But the way we're going, we could be at 60,000 by the end of this week. But here's the staggering thing that I want to share with you guys. Why I got to warn you guys once again. Because it took how long for MicroStrategy to acquire 190,000 Bitcoin? Yes, 190,000 Bitcoin. It took about 4 years. You know how long it took BlackRock Fidelity to reach 191,000 Bitcoin? In 3 weeks. 4 years versus 3 weeks. That's how much is being taken out of circulation right now. In case you guys are still doubting this, this is happening right in front of our eyes. And it's at an alarming rate. According to this site, BlackRock already holds 109,000 Bitcoin. Now, I don't know if that's accurate, because today, I don't think that includes today's numbers. So after today, it could be like over 110, 120,000 Bitcoin. That's a staggering amount within 3 weeks. Fidelity's at 82,000, which they're not too far off. You add these two together, already they own more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. It took MicroStrategy 4 years to do it. It took these two companies 3 weeks. And pretty soon, they will both have more than Grayscale. Grayscale is still selling. The rate of growth right now, within several months, they're going to be holding more than even Grayscale. I don't know if that computes in your heads. That is so alarming. Remember we had that little dip? Do any of you guys remember that little dip? The dip that, yesterday morning we felt at like 48.3. Do any of you guys remember that? Well, I do. And I was complaining how a lot of people got very bearish, right? Look at what happened during that time. You have retail that absolutely panicked and sold how many? 15 billion or $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin? Why? Why? Just because we fell down 1,000 points? Retail got so scared and sold $1.5 billion of Bitcoin. Even some of the rich, okay, that whole 1 to 10 sold about $1 billion of the Bitcoin. But you know who didn't sell? The uber rich, the 10 to 100, they DCA'd, and the institutions that added 3 billion, 3.2 billion. Yeah. So this is the warning. I've been telling you guys this, okay? These big boys are FOMOing in. They're trying to play catch up. They're not going to stop. No matter what happens to Bitcoin right now, if we have another correction, they will continue to buy. Pretty soon, they will hold so much, the price of Bitcoin will be so high, it's basically a barrier for retail. Retail won't be able to afford any at all. To get up to one whole coin soon will be 6 digits. How many people can pull out $100,000 to buy one Bitcoin? And it just doesn't compute for so many. I've been saying it since $1,000, $3,000 in 2023 at $16,000 when it was still cheap. Now things are not so cheap. At $52,000, they are not cheap at all. And soon we will be at all-time high in $70,000, and soon we will be at $100,000, and it's virtually impossible for retail to buy at that point. And the only thing left are the alts for retail, right? But these big institutions, they are not going to stop. This FOMO train is going to continue, and that's why $60,000 could be right around the corner. We may even see all-time high $70,000 by halving event. I mean, I think it's that would be great, but I think we're moving a little too quick, but that may happen. So, I mean, just my point is, just don't let all these big boys steal all of your Bitcoin, okay? That's what's happening right now. All the manipulation, all the fake outs or whatever that may be coming, it's all to get you to sell and to get them more Bitcoin, right? So don't do it. Michael Saylor agrees with me. Pent-up demand driving capital into Bitcoin. Of course, FOMO. I've said this for years. FOMO is not just a thing for retail, even though, yes, retail does lead FOMO, especially when it comes to meme coins and stuff, and everyone wants to FOMO in. But, you know, there are a lot of other players that FOMO too. Large funds FOMO, okay, like pension funds and retirement funds. They're not supposed to, but they do. They still care about returns. I mean, hedge funds certainly FOMO. We've seen that before. And companies, you know, with large amount of cash, they know they need a FOMO too into something that'll preserve their buying power. They don't want their cash pile to inflate to nothing either. So FOMO's like everywhere. Now before, it was hard for a lot of these entities to FOMO into Bitcoin, but now there's no excuse. You could go into your brokerage and just buy Bitcoin ETFs. It's that simple.